Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach and welcome to the Ruck Premiums video. We're going to take a look at the premium guys in the Ruck department. If you haven't already, check out my Patreon video. Shorty's on board with a bit of that. I explain it all in a video that I did just the other day. So if you're interested in a bit of extra content, get along to there. But the Ruck is pretty straightforward. I've done the premiums for the defenders and the mids. Lots of options. There's only two when it comes to the Ruck department. We all know it, Gawn and Grundy. But how do we go about actually starting our sides? Because Gawn and Grundy have just been miles clear of the rest of the pack in terms of scoring over the course of the whole season, but not everyone is starting with them. And Max Gawn sent a scare through everybody the other day with a bit of a knee concern. I think that'll put him out for about 3 to 4 weeks. And look, I wasn't on board him already, and I was concerned about the body. It'd be more concerning for Gawn owners if it happened early in the season, but I'm telling you, he's going to miss a little chunk of pre-season. It's just got round 5 injury written all over it, or round 3 injury, or round 8 injury. Gawn's a bloke that if I was looking at him, I'd want to see a flawless pre-season because his body has been pretty solid of late, but I always feel like it's just, moments away from disaster sometimes. So for me, I want to finish with him. I want to finish with Grundy as well, but the starting is going to be very interesting. So I want to discuss a couple of things and the process about it. Okay, I think every man and their dog's going Grundy. He's younger, he's in his prime, he's more durable, he can score just as good. He's in 65% of sides, fair enough. Gawn's in 37% of sides. I'm guessing that's probably dipped a little bit over the last couple of days. I'm not too sure. But I want to talk about, if you are just going Grundy, then what do? I really want to steer and make it really clear against this next tier Ruckman. And I'm talking Goldstein, Marshall, Lysette, O'Brien, McAvoy, Martin sort of guys. These guys are really good players, very consistent. And look at their averages, just going down. Goldie, 112, he was outstanding. But I think that's sort of a last hurrah. I don't think that was just an outstanding season. Everything is going well for him, but he's going to go down from that, no doubt about it. Marshall, please don't. Ryder is coming to the club, and it will absolutely affect him. I'm not saying Marshall's going to average 85, but he's not going to average 110. I'm telling you, it's going to affect him. He's going to share the ruck. If they're in the same side, it's bad news. We know that. Lysette, people have thrown the stats at me, without Ryder, some great numbers, but it's only a sample size of about 5 or 6. And I've fallen into the trap of sample sizes, you average 111 the last 14 rounds, or, gee, look at this 7-week period. This is what he can do in this position or without this guy. Yes, it's true. Very interesting to look at. Sometimes works, but can be fraught with danger looking at small sample sizes. So tread with caution. And as I mentioned, blokes like Witts averages 100. Cruiser is always injured. O'Brien averaged 95. McAvoy 92. Martin 93. Something like that. They're always around anywhere from 90 to 100. In their prime, 105. But these guys are yesterday's heroes. Let's not fall into the trap. They will give you good numbers, but the fact is you're paying a bit of coin for them, and they're not going to be keepers because by the time everyone else has got Gawn and Grundy, you're probably losing 15 to 20 points each week. They're averaging well. Yeah, cool. McAvoy's going at 105. Steph Martin, great work. He scored another 102. Meanwhile, Gawn's banged out 149. Grundy's smashed out 157. And you're left lurking. So that's what can be a concern, is when you get like a Ruckman who's very, very good, but he's sort of second tier. And basically, he's never going to go poor enough for you to trade him out. But you've also spent a fair bit of coin on a guy that you're going to trade out. I always think if you're spending more than 450k, you want to keep that guy. So I don't see why you would pick, say, McAvoy or Steph Martin just for him to average 98 for the first 9 rounds and then trade him out. Like, you've spent 500k for 9 rounds. So that's why I'm more inclined to scroll down and look at some breakout contenders or mid-price types. And we're looking at Nick Nat. He's in 13% of sides. Check out my West Coast preview. Personally, I think it's a little risky. just with his body and also where he is at his career. I think at some stage he's going to drop off a little bit, and he's also in that category where he gets managed now. So it's just risky in the ruck department, particularly because we might not have a reserve ruckman, and if we do, I doubt they're going to score any good. So who's to say if Nick Nat, finishes the game, cops a bit of a slight knock, bit of a blooper, but then he doesn't play next week because he's not fully fit. They're just going cautious with him. I hate having blokes like that on my side where the club is going to take a cautious approach. My thoughts on Tim English. I'm really big on him. 4% of sides. I think he could really come out and do some great stuff. He's 450k, just under. So I guess he just falls under that category that I just spoke about. But I really think he can boost his average into the high 90s and be a nice stepping stone for me. And I really think his upside's pretty big. Don't know if we'll see the absolute maximum just yet, but he's a very promising player. Sean Darcy is a guy I've discussed, but I don't think there's much love for him. And Sam Jacobs is in 14% of sides as well. Now, I'm just not a fan of that pick at all. I think I had him as my no chance in the Giants preview, and I stand by that. I just see him averaging mid-80s, and that's boring. There's nothing sexy about that at all. You're paying, what are you paying? Where is he? 3 something. Where are you, mate? I've totally scrolled past him. 348. I'd rather pay 100k more and get English, to be honest. But if you're scrapping around, and clearly if you are, 14% of sides, it's semi-popular. But gone are the days where he averaged 100 plus. I know he was starved of opportunity last year, but it's more than that. Like years previous, he wasn't averaging anything great. Let's see if I've got internet out here. I do not, but from memory, I reckon he averaged somewhere in the 80s the year before last, and wasn't even in his prime. I think he averaged 115 at his very best. He had some good years, but that was his absolute window. He's in the twilight of his career. It's an absolute no from me. But let me know what you think in terms of the rucks. Obviously, this is a rucks premium video. There's only a couple, so I've tried to sort of change it up to give you a few other thoughts and things to think about. I'll be really interesting to see how the rucks do play out. And if people do get scared off Gawn, let me know if you've chopped him straight up. But he should be right for round 1. So hopefully being patient if you're a Gawn fan. But I'll be back with a few more videos throughout the week. We'll obviously take a look at the premiums in the forward line next. So thanks for that. Cheers.